Hello, hello. Welcome to Sparkle.Sanctuary. My name is Rebecca. I am so glad you joined me today. This is a post review of Rainbow Little Dragons or Little Rainbow DragonZ, I'm not sure which, from Sheena Pike. I purchased this kit on Amazon. It is slightly smaller than the one Diamond Art Club sold on their website originally. This is a 51 by 61 centimeter diamond painting. I always really liked the image, but it's square shaped drills, and really struggled with the idea of working on this canvas because there's so much confetti, and kind of really wanted this image. So then when I saw that they had it on Amazon, I picked it up. Now it's been a while since I've had it and it is no longer a listing, but I did want to share because I recently posted like how I was blinging up this kit and what my intentions were. I wanted to share the after effects so you could see what it looks like. And so I'll just kind of go over everything in this video and kind of show you my final thoughts. Okay, so this rendering, one of the things that I kind of want to think about when I'm looking at post reviews is the confetti that's in it. If it's really confetti heavy, was the confetti necessary for the rendering in the kit? Did it give to the kit or did it take away from it? I just kind of wanted to look over that and kind of give my thoughts. There are some places where I feel that the confetti is absolutely necessary. There are stars all along the edges of this image. Let me move this out of the way for a second. Sorry. As you can see, there's lots of stars in the sky here and things like that. And so I think that those things are definitely a necessary confetti. I do question a little bit, like when I pull this up and look at it, if I can get this in the view, sorry. You know, there are multiple colors in there as the confetti goes. So like there's two colors here and then that's a different color. And then there's a purple here and that brown is different than any of the other browns. And so I want to say yes and no to the necessity of the confetti. I think that they could have cleaned that up a little bit and left it a little bit more white or put in one other shade instead of the multiple shades. I feel like there were areas in this that the rendering is really, really amazing. I love the way that they rendered the rainbow. I feel like there were certain things here that just did exceptionally well. But again, like when I come down to the cloud that's down here, I feel like there's a lot of unnecessary confetti down there. However, I say that, but I did add an extra diamond color into this when I was, customizing it to make my own bling. And so I added an additional piece to that. I kind of want to, before I show it to you a little bit closer, I wanted to point that out. And things like this dragon tail, like there's a color that comes through here a little bit. And I feel like it could have been more evenly dispersed, or like there's multiple colors that are in the circle and that could have been maybe slightly different color, those kinds of things. The fangs could have been more similar in color or whatever. I feel like there was just a little bit where they used multiple colors that they didn't absolutely need to use. But this did have a lot of shades and a lot of places where it needed a lot of color. And like particularly in these horns here, I love the way these rendered. I think that they came out really well. And I really like the colors that they put in there. I guess it's kind of give and take, I think the same with the eyes. I think that they cleaned those up fairly well. I just think there were some other places that could have probably been a little bit more clean. However, again, this was a smaller image, and so they just did the best they could with the pixelation that there was. The cover sheet on this is a normal, like Diamond Art Club quality cover sheet. I was able to put washi tape over it and cut it up and do what I normally do. The canvas is one of their soft kind of canvases, and I really love that about them. And then the edges are serged, and so it really, I think that's what it's called, it's serged, but a lot of people call it scalloped and poked. But anyway, there's obviously no fraying on this canvas, and so I think that's really nice. So yeah, I have no problems with the canvas. I have no problems with that. I will say that the drill quality, I'm going to pull this over here now. So this entire container, well, it's not very big. It is jam-packed full. Like it is full, and I have more in a second one. And honestly, I normally keep all of my diamonds, and these were just the worst of the worst. I didn't even pull out all of the bad ones out of all of those. And now that it's completed, I've looked over the diamonds and I'm not going to salvage any of these. None of these are worth keeping to me. There are size changes and issues, like none of them are consistently the same size. There's a lot of them with tabs. There's a lot of them with dimples. There's a lot of them with just like they were connected, two of them at a time. Just there was a lot of issues with the diamonds on this kit, which made actually doing this image take even longer. It took me about a month, and normally an image this size wouldn't take me that long. I do blame some of it on the confetti. I do blame some of it on my lack of time, but I also wanted to share that these diamonds were really trash prone, and I don't see, I mean, it's not like there's a lot in any individual container left anyway. So I just have decided it's not worth my time and energy to salvage the diamonds that are in here, because not all of them are salvageable anyway, and I don't want to go picking through them anymore. I got tired of picking through them as it was. I did want to share that with you in case you have this kit or you pick it up in a D-stash. The diamonds they were horrendous for me. Now, the symbol quality, the canvas was nice and clear and the symbols were nice and clear. I did have an issue. For some reason, I kept getting these two symbols mixed up. Let me see if I can put them on top. There we go. So they're both arrows. And because when I'm working on a diamond painting, I actually start it upside down. I put a piece of tape in the middle. I start it upside down. I start in the top, in the corner where the tape meets, and then I work across and I work in sections working down. And then when that's done, I flip it back around and I come back and I do the same thing from where the tape starts and complete it, and then end up down here. As I was working on it, when it was upside down, and specifically the colors on the canvas of these two diamonds was actually really similar when the light pad was underneath them. And I had to make sure I was paying very careful attention to whether or not the arrow was white or black. And there were a couple times when I was sidetracked and I was like looking at the arrow and I got them confused. And that was frustrating because then I'd have to go back in and pick them off. But otherwise, a majority of the symbols were clear. That was just like, they were too similar. And I know that Diamond Art Club doesn't do a lot of those kind of symbols anymore. They also had these two symbols that were incredibly similar. And when I had the light pad off, those were very hard to differentiate. When it was on, this was definitely a paler purple, and so I was able to tell them more apart. But again, I had to be paying attention. And I think they've done away with these kind of symbols as well, if I recall. But I haven't really been paying attention to a lot of the newer kits because I've been trying to get through my older ones. Yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts on those just because of the symbol and drill quality the symbol quality was fine, but the similarities in the symbols, it made it take additional time. Now that that's that, my next question is, would I purchase this again? That's one of the questions I kind of think about. And knowing what I know now, because it rendered and came out so beautifully, I would still say yes. Yes, I would still buy this diamond painting. I would station it though for a time when I knew that I had extra time and extra bandwidth for working with square drill shapes and for the confetti and for the diamond issues. And I also maybe would have looked through my stash to see if I had spares that could take their place, because I would rather, swap out diamonds and fill them in with diamonds that fit and do a better job. And then it's less of a hassle and less of a time sucker, really, because I like to diamond paint. I diamond paint fairly quickly, I believe. And this kit really just took very, very long time. I probably could have done 2 kits in the time that it took me to do this one. But again, with that said, I really, really like the way this turned out, and I would repurchase this because she's so cute. She's just really so cute. I love all of the bright colors and the rainbows. I took this to work actually during parent-teacher conferences and showed it to some of my coworkers. I was about halfway done with this, maybe a little bit more, and I was showing them what the diamonds look like and how shiny they are. And I got one of my coworkers I got her a diamond painting because she showed interest, and she is loving working on it and has been going to look at purchasing her own. So I may have recruited somebody, which is amazing, but she really particularly pointed out all of the sparkly diamonds that are on here. And those were a majority of the enhancements that I put into this diamond painting. So now that we've kind of had more of a backed up image or view of this, I wanted to kind of take you in a little bit closer and show you what some of those look like. So here, up in the rainbow loops above the head, I will say, sorry, I'm not handling this diamond painting very well. This green square diamond that I replaced, they're a little bit small. They're really small for the size. And so I struggled to get them to line up right. And honestly, because of the shapes and sizes of all the diamonds that were in this, I just really struggled to get everything to line up and look good. But I mean, I think it looks pretty good regardless. It just took a little bit more effort. I really like the way these all sparkle in these rainbows. I think it just adds a little bit of extra glitz and glimmer to them. I really like the way it came out. And then there's also there was a dark yellow AB and a light yellow AB that came in the kit. And I'm not sure if you can see that with the lighting. I'm hoping that you can, but they're sprinkled all through here. So it just like really made this whole area shine. Same over here. There's a bunch of that yellow AB through here. And then there's another swirl here with all of those, a lot of those special diamond colors in there. So I think that that rendered really well. The tail, I had placed extra diamonds into the tail to make it extra sparkly and glittery. And I think that this makes it look like this part of the tail is like tilted a little bit, which I thought was really cool. And then these stars over here, I enhanced this star and did that the same thing. I think that I don't know that I love this drill where it's located, because none of the rest of the stars actually blinked out. And so it almost gives it an up close. It doesn't look like the rest of the diamond painting, and it makes it stand out a little bit more, but from a distance it makes it sparkle. So I ended up, I both love and don't like what I did there. And then the eyes, I used the black sparklers for squares, if I can get one of those in there. Yeah, I used the black sparklers from squares from DP with Sparklers, and I don't know that I actually noticed them. And I think it's because there's just so much going on in this image. I don't know that I actually noticed them when I take a step back. Oh, is that a diamond in the wrong? No, that's the right one. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about with a little bit of unnecessary confetti. Like when you're looking at this rainbow here and you look down, there's just this random blue drill here. And I just popped it off the canvas to look, and sure enough, it belongs there. That one random blue drill and the dragon's belly and like all of these different colors in through here. I don't know that they necessarily needed to fade that way. That's kind of what I was talking about, the unnecessary confetti. I hope that makes sense. If I didn't clarify, confetti is where you have a bunch of different color changes in one area, and color blocking is when there's like a section of one color. So like this little area here would be considered color blocking because you don't change your colors there. But like this area here where there's all these different colors in the belly, that would be considered confetti. So why this one random blue dot? It just seems to be like that could have been removed and swapped out for another color that made more sense there. The other color that I changed out was down here in the clouds. There is a fairy dust color that is like has a light, like bluish greenish hue to it that I swapped out for the letter A on this canvas. I think that it gives just like this little tiny extra sparkle to the cloud when it didn't have any extra sparkle. And then I did use some of those crystals in this star here. I have it on screen. And then I used some crystals in this star here. Yeah. So there are, I went through and I didn't have enough to replace the entirety of the letter A. So I just kind of went in and sprinkled them in where I thought felt good. And then I went back in and filled the letter A with the normal diamond, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's all of the spares that I put in that I can recall. Oh no, that is not the best one, the one I was saving for last. So I had mentioned that I had this jelly, it's 3865, and it's a jelly AB. I'm not sure if that'll come across on camera, but it is an AB drill that has like a pinkish orange green. I don't know. AB stands for Aurora Borealis, and it just has like a rainbow effect to it. And when I was talking about it, I said on the canvas, it really just kind of looks like the top of an AB and you don't really see the jelly drill. But the times that I've used that color before has been really sparse and spare. And I've never used it in a section like I did on this crown area of the dragon. And I want to say that I was wrong. I was wrong about that jelly. I just kind of wanted to point that out. It definitely, you can tell that it's a jelly drill. It's very different on the canvas, especially in person. I'm hoping that that will show on camera. I don't know that it will, but there's just like, it definitely has like a purple and pink and orange coloring to it. But wherever I place these ABs in person, they just almost have, it's almost like they're kind of there, but kind of not. I don't know how to explain it, but the jelly, definitely you can see it in person, especially when you're looking at this section, particularly here, where there is so much. I wonder if I got that closer. There we go. There's just so much of that color right there. And I really feel like you can tell that that's a jelly in that area. And then I just have it sprinkled through some of the rest of this canvas. Anyway, I'll get you back down so you can see the eye, but then when you're a little further away, it doesn't show up as much. But yeah, these definitely show up differently in person. And this one I was showing all my coworkers, this diamond painting, they really pointed those out and said that those looked the coolest. And I've got to say, when I look through the back of it through the light, that's the area actually of my diamond painting that you can mostly see through and still see the symbol behind it, which is very interesting. I wanted to share that just because I learned something new myself, and I think this is just one of those things that's always a learning curve. I just wanted to share my thoughts on my canvas and show what the final rendering looked like with all of the enhancements there, and just kind of give you my thoughts. I will also insert a pan over here of the entire image. Hopefully that'll give a little bit better view of what's going on here. I'm going to head out. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for subscribing and all the things that you do. If you're not already a subscriber, please go ahead and feel free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Wherever you go to take care of your mental health is a Sparkle Sanctuary. So make sure you take time to take care of you, and I will see you next time. Bye.